Hey. I think we're live. It's our first live
Yes.
broadcast.
Technical difficulties. Sorry about that, guys. We're supposed to be on YouTube, but apparently they changed it, and now you need 1,000 subscribers to go live on YouTube, and we don't have 1,000 subscribers. So, hey, go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel, okay?
You and 1,000 friends.
Yes, I'm sure you have 1,000 friends, right?
Or
I only had like 20, so that's why I only had like 20 subscribers.
Or 1,000 bots.
1,000.
You and bring your 1,000
Yes,
bots.
bring your bots, okay, guys? Hey, it's our live stream for Japan Without Japanese. We're going to tell you all about planning a trip to Japan. And we have a special guest! Yay! Come on over, special guest.
How special.
Hey guys, it's Ames!
Yay!
For those of you who don't know Ames, here, you introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Ames. I just put my hand in front of your face. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I run a podcast called My Favorite Haunting, and Karen was our special guest host during our Japanese-themed episode back in April. It was episode 17. What was it called? Domo arigato, Mr. Wealthy-san.
Yeah, so we're dorks, but yeah, that was fun. That
We're
was fun.
hilarious dorks.
So now we're repaying the favor, and now Ames is going to help us. And the reason she is here is twofold. One is because we've already been to Japan twice already. Some things might not occur to us to tell you because it kind of seems normal now. But Ames has never been there. You're not obsessed with Japan like we are, or like I am. He's just along for the ride.
I like Japan.
But
Have you ever thought of going?
Yeah, I would absolutely go if I had the chance.
so she may have some questions on how to plan her own trip to Japan. So she's going to help us out. And you may notice in front of you, we have some food here.
This is the real reason I'm here.
Yeah,
It was-
so-
she said sushi, and I was like, yeah, let me get in the car. I'll be right there.
So Jay and I like sushi, but we're not entirely the most adventurous people. So like we basically have a couple rolls that we'll eat. So Ames is here to broaden our horizons and eat more than we will. So yeah, let's start with some food because I haven't eaten yet and I am starving. I'm having some white peach calpico today. It's very delicious. What do you got? What are you drinking?
I have, how do I say this? Ramune?
Ramune.
Ramune, grape flavored soda. There were instructions printed on the label, and I took the label off. Gee, Karen, can you help me open my soda?
You know what? You could go over to Japan Without Japanese on YouTube and find a video all about how to open that. But since you're right here and, you know, phones are occupied and Canadian Wi-Fi sucks, I will help you out. So, okay, I don't want to touch it because this is your thing. So
What do I do?
lift up this guy. This outer part is garbage. So there's an inside part. Just pop that out with your thumb. That's the part you need. There you go. You see, this is a little T-shaped plunger. That's garbage. She did exactly what I did in my first video. That's funny. Okay, and then you probably can't see at home, but there's a little marble in the top of her thing lodged there, sealing in all the carbonated freshness. So basically, what you're gonna do is put that on top of the marble and smack it down.
Upside down.
Beware of, I don't know what you call that. Soda regurgitation.
Is it gonna explode all over me?
Yeah, be careful. Oh,
Ow.
Harder.
no.
Yep,
Okay.
you're good.
Ah, there it goes.
Paper towel?
It's not bad.
So, see how the bottle has this little
Is that where I
thing
hold
here?
it?
That is to hold the marble from coming back up into your mouth while you're drinking.
So I want to make sure that when I tip it back to drink it, that this part is like
At the bottom, yeah.
so.
So she got grape flavor. How does it taste?
Not like grape soda that we would get
Like a
here.
grape crush.
It's more, it's more kind of like subtle. It's kind of like a carbonated grape lollipop.
I would say that's an accurate
Is
description.
that, yeah.
All right, so dig in. Here, I'm going to give you this because this is your tempura. You guys know what tempura is, right? Everybody knows what tempura is. It is battered stuff thrown in a deep fryer. Smells good, right? We've got broccoli, yam, pumpkin, and eggplant today.
Pumpkin is in there too.
Yeah, pumpkin is a standard for tempura. What were you going for first?
I don't know. There's so much variety here. What is that?
This is egg. When you're in Japan, technically you would eat egg last because it's kind of sweeter, so it's almost considered like a dessert sushi. Okay, let's like say what we've actually got here. Well, you've got edamame.
I have a bowl full of edamame.
And it is pronounced edamame, not edamame.
It's
just
not
FYI.
edamame.
Or edamame.
It's edamame, not edamame. That's just soybeans, and they're broiled and sprinkled with salt. I can't eat those at all, so I won't be partaking in those ones. We also have some gyoza here. These are pork pan-fried dumplings. They smell really
They
good.
smell amazing.
That's like a staple side dish when you go to ramen restaurants.
Ramen, yeah. You have here a salmon roll. Roll is maki. When you go to a sushi restaurant and you say you want sushi, you're actually talking about this stuff, not the rolls. Rolls are called maki. The fish with the rice on top is called sushi, or otherwise known as nigiri. And we also have some sashimi here. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's just fish. That's it. Pick up a piece and show it if you want.
Oh, I'll do that. Can I then eat it?
Yeah, of course. That's all yours, man. This is tuna sashimi, so it's literally just a piece of tuna. Good?
Mm.
So then, okay, yeah, we've got the salmon maki, and then we've got, we think this is supposed to be tuna. It's really pale for tuna, but anyways. Okay, so tuna, 2 pieces of salmon. You've got 2 pieces of mackerel, and 1 piece of shrimp, and then 1 piece of clam, surf clam. And then we've got some more salmon here. Salmon's my favorite, which is what I got. And I got these ones with no wasabi. In between the rice and the salmon, there'd be like a little dollop of wasabi, and I'm not about that, so I said no.
And that's like glue, right, to hold it in place, kind of?
It's just to make it like tasty, I guess.
Okay.
Like it will hold without it, if it's made properly.
Oh.
Sushi masters, like they apply just the right pressure so that the fish, like apparently you can actually turn it upside down and the fish won't fall off.
Oh.
But
It's like a blizzard.
yeah. I was like,
Dairy
wait, what?
Queen sushi.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, and then I also have a dynamite roll, which is tempura shrimp, and I added avocado to mine because avocado is awesome. And then all 3 of us really like what the restaurant I work. This is from where I work, by the way. The restaurant I work at calls this roll an Atlantic roll because it's made with Atlantic salmon, but it's salmon and avocado. So similar to the plain salmon roll, just with avocado in it. Then we have inari, which this is a bean curd pocket, which technically I shouldn't eat because it's soy, but it's delicious and it's only a little bit, so I'm gonna. And the rice in there is kind of sweetened. And then we've got a California roll, and then something called futomaki. I will just say that when you go to Japan, you're probably not gonna find these kind of rolls. Those are some places that serve American style sushi. What you're gonna find is nigiri and sashimi. But one roll that you do see a lot in Japan is the futomaki. And I'm just gonna hold up 1 piece. It's a bigger roll because there's a bunch of stuff in it. Let's see if I can get close enough for you to see. See it? Can you see it? So there's crab, egg, mushrooms, cucumber, fish flakes, which are like over here, and a marinated gourd. I should say a Japanese pickle. And it's sweet and crunchy and delicious. And I'm going to start with this one. You can eat, but
I'm listening to your explanations. I'm like fascinated.
I'm just going to stop talking for a second because I'm going to shove this in my mouth. So if you guys want to say anything, go for it.
Itadakimasu. Do you know what that means?
Nope. What's that?
Japanese people say it before they eat. It means, I don't know, thank you for the food or something like that.
Say it again.
Can you spell it? Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
Start with an E or an I? I. Interesting. Itadakimasu.
I'm going for the mackerel.
Maybe starting with the fujimaki wasn't a good idea.
Oh no, why not?
Just because I couldn't talk. I still shouldn't talk. Yes, you say itadakimasu before you have any food, and it's kind of like acknowledging who prepared your food for you, who farmed the food for you, the fish that, gave up their lives for you. It's just acknowledge it's a grateful thing to say before you start eating. And the reason why, as soon as he said itadakimasu and I went like that, is because I always forget. And I'm trying to get in the habit for when we're actually in Japan. I don't want to be rude and not say it when I'm eating. That was good though, it was really tasty.
That mackerel is delicious.
Oh yeah? It doesn't have the little leaf
It does
in it?
not have the leaf on it. That made all the difference. Because I knew I would like the fish.
When was that we had that? Was that in April? Okay, so Ames came up last April, and we ordered from our restaurant, and we had like a little J Horror Fest, which was really fun.
It was great.
So she wanted to try a bunch of sushi she had never had before, and one of them was mackerel, and usually with the mackerel they put a little piece of a leaf underneath. In Japanese it's called shiso. I've heard in English it's called perilla, but I
heard in English it's called disgusting.
She didn't like that, so we asked for no leaf for this time. But
it's delicious now.
The most entertaining part of the experience was when Ames tried uni.
It was an experience. One that I can appreciate.
She almost threw
doing
up
once in my life and never again.
We have it on video.
There is a video. It's not on the internet. A sea urchin. The inside of a sea urchin. I'm scared.
You can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
Not a fan. Well, you tried it.
It's the texture. It's like fish jelly.
If I could snag that video from you and maybe like post a little gif of you going, that'd be great. Uni is sea urchin. It's the yellow spongy stuff. I'm not a fan either, but ironically, it's one of the most expensive sushis there is. It's like a delicacy sushi.
Aren't monkey brains a delicacy though? I mean, we throw around this word delicacy. I'm starting to think
delicacy
really
just means gross.
Expensive and gross.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, back before I had food restrictions.
Yeah, right?
It probably was like the soft shell crab roll I really liked.
Yeah.
And dragon rolls I really liked. Yeah. Eel.
Okay.
Eel was probably my favorite.
What's your favorite?
Favorite sushi? Salmon, I guess.
Salmon? I think that's basically your only sushi, right? Do you eat other ones?
I have, but I just prefer.
Let's begin, shall we? So, you say you want to go to Japan. What do you do? These are basically all the steps that we went through planning our trip. When you're planning a trip to Japan, the very first thing you need to do is decide on what kind of trip to Japan you would like. Are you really into fashion? Are you into all the crazy technology that you hear Japan has? Are you an anime fan and you want to go to the areas where they have all the anime and manga and figures and stuff? Are you into the cultural stuff and want to go to shrines and temples and castles? Or are you into the Japanese food and you want to go... There are people that go to Japan just to eat the Japanese food. Are you someone who likes to go to the clubs and you want to go and do all the partying? Or are you like us and you're going to do a little bit of everything?
Actually, I guess that's one thing we haven't done, is go to the clubs and party.
We're old.
Yeah.
We don't do clubs and party anymore.
Not even 2010, though.
Yeah. But we met up with a friend of mine from university, and she's about 10 years younger than me, 8 years younger than me. And she was all about that clubbing life. We met her, and she's like, "Oh, I was at the club till like 5 o'clock in the morning last night." I'm like, "That's impressive."
Was that typical? They're open that late?
Early? Some will be. The one thing you have to be very careful of in Japan is the trains. No, you're so safe. But train service. What time do the trains stop in New York?
They don't.
They run all night.
Mm-hmm.
Here they stop at like 1 or 2, depending on the line. Japan, they often don't run past midnight.
Whoa.
So if you were out drinking at an izakaya, a Japanese bar, or, you know, doing whatever, make sure you keep your eye on the time. They will actually do a last train call in bars and stuff. They'll be like, okay, everybody,
cool.
last train's leaving in 20 minutes.
And then what time do they start up again in the morning?
Depending on the line, around 5. 4:30, 5 o'clock.
So if you're at the club until 5,
yes, so that's the
you're
thing.
okay.
If you have
You're
missed
gonna
your
do
last
a walk
train,
of shame, but you get a ride.
you have 3 options. One is to take a taxi home to your outlying area, which will be probably at least $100. Not recommended. Number 2, find a hotel and crash. Number 3, keep partying. For our trip, we are like a smorgasbord type of adventure. We like to do a little bit of everything. Then the next thing you need to decide is how long you're going to go for. Are you going for like 3 days? Which, why would you do that to yourself? That's like a taste test of Japan, and then you're like, it's not enough.
Doesn't it take 3 days just to get there?
You're losing a whole entire day. Most people go for like around about a week. Our first trip was 10 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our second trip was 15, like 2 weeks. Or are you gonna go for a long trip? Like us. We're going for 2 months. Or there's some people who go for like the entire year. There's a thing called working holiday. I'm not sure what the requirements are for Americans, but for Canadians, and I also know Australians and I think the UK as well, you can do a working holiday where you have to work part-time and holiday type of thing. That's a visa that you have to apply for. It's a certain amount of hours you can't go over. Like you can't work full-time.
Make a certain amount of
Right.
Like it's not a work permit visa, it's a working holiday visa.
But do you have to work?
For a working holiday.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and
you have to
to
have some employment.
yeah,
Stay
you have
there for over
to
a year.
secure your employment before you leave your country. So you have to get, in order to get the working holiday visa, you have to say, okay, here's my offer of employment, and here's my plan, and let me into your country. Otherwise, I think it's the same for anybody, like all countries. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it is for America, I know it is for Canada, and I know it is for all of the, what do we call ourselves? Commonwealth countries? You know, the ones linked to Her Majesty.
Kind of British, but
Yeah.
exactly.
The British cousins. You don't have to do any paperwork. You just show up, walk
not
into the
a visa.
country, and you're just like, hi, I would like to stay here. And they're like, okay, 90 days. That's it. You can only get 2 of those per year. So basically, you can't spend more than 6 months in Japan on a visitor visa. And it has to be split up. I'm not sure if you have to wait 3 months, but you have to wait a certain amount of time. Like, it's not like, I left yesterday, can I come back in for 90 more days? No. The next thing you need to decide is what time of year you're going to go. And this makes a huge difference. For the first trip, we went in the middle of May. For our second trip, we went right during cherry blossom viewing season. We've been in spring twice. So going at the opposite end of the year this time, going for fall, we're excited to see like a whole new Japan. It's really funny to me because Japanese people will always say, I come from a country with 4 distinct seasons. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, I think they think that everybody abroad lives in California, where it's like sunny and warm all the time. But like, yeah, we have 4 distinct seasons here too. But then I realized seasons are a huge deal in Japan. It's not just like, you know, weather and scenery. It's like cultural things. I was telling him before, it's like every single season has its own flowers, festivals, and food. Seasonal food in Japan is like a thing. Like, you only eat certain things at certain times, and then we live again?
Oh, right when I turned my Wi-Fi off?
Really?
Yeah.
Canada.
Sorry. It was my fault. I'm sorry. My phone was...
Ames, did you try to use the microwave? That's another thing I'm really looking forward to in Japan is the awesome Wi-Fi they have
We'll
there.
see. We'll keep people updated on that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I used Wi-Fi in Starbucks there last time we were there. I can't remember what happened. It's a little bit different.
Public Wi-Fi is not great.
Oh.
Yeah. Wi-Fi in homes is excellent.
Are you guys getting burner phones to use over there, or you're just taking yours?
We're going to be using our own phones. We'll get into that. Hold that thought. Decide on your destinations. Are you going to be traveling around all over the country like we are? Or are you going to be going to, like, say, Tokyo and then just staying put? Once you have all that decided, then you're going to want to start working out your basic itinerary. Decide on things that you think are must-see things. Do some research and collect your ideas. We have a very helpful video where you can get lots of idea sources. I can't remember what we called it. Something like top 5 sources. At this point, just work out your general itinerary. Like I want to go to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka.
Yeah.
And then say, I want to go to Universal Studios, I want to go to the Studio Ghibli Museum, and I want to go to shrines and temples. That kind of thing. Make lists for yourself, like places you want to see, food you want to eat, things you want to buy, experiences you want to try, or in our case, pictures you want to take. A tip is to leave some free time in your schedule. People will say the best experiences they have are when they wander around and they leave themselves time to get lost. The next thing you need to do is save your money. Trips to Japan are expensive. Work out a budget for yourself when you're going to be in Japan. So what do you want to do things on the cheap? What do you want to splurge on? Consider things like, are you going to be somewhere where you can be cooking your own food, or are you going to be eating out all the time? Transportation costs, admission costs. Little things can add up. Like, for example, when you go to a shrine or a temple, you leave a little, you like toss a coin in and make a prayer. And then you can also buy like all these little trinkets.
Sometimes you have to pay to get into something.
Yeah.
It's usually not that much, so it's like $5, 500 yen.
Yeah. Some admissions are going to be big ones, like Universal Studios. What was it?
Oh, yeah,
90
shrines, but
bucks. Tokyo Skytree is like $40. Like, they can get pricey, so just look into that kind of thing and then get an idea of how much money you're going to need.
500 yen, 700 yen. It sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we should take an interjection and talk about money for a second. Okay. Leaving exchange rates aside, think of yen as like a cent. 1 yen is 1 cent. So 100 yen is $1. 1,000 yen is $10.
for US money, that's good. It's roughly almost the same.
US is less. So actually, like 1,000 yen is probably going to be like 920.
That's close.
Less than $10.
Close enough.
So just take off 2 zeros.
In Canada, it's going to be about $12. Sadly, I only have 2 coins to show you, which is a 1 yen coin and a 10 yen coin. So like a penny and a dime, basically. Some of the Japanese coins have holes in the middle. Some of them don't. This is kind of strange, but a 5 yen coin, so like a nickel, and a 50 yen coin, which would be like 50 cents, have holes in the middle. So Japanese bills come in 10, sorry, I keep saying 10, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and 100,000. They're pretty cool because like they have the, see the...
Oh, that's an awesome watermark.
The sizes are staggered, so like...
Oh.
I stack them up so you can like know in your wallet. So we have a $5 bill in Canada. They don't have the equivalent of a bill because they do 500 yen coins.
Oh, yeah.
So the equivalent we would have would be $10 bills, 1,000, and then $20 bill, 2,000 yen. I didn't have a 50 and 100 to show you, so but you know what those look like. We'll talk about yen a little bit more in a sec. The next thing you need to do is book your hotels. It seems like a daunting task, but it's actually kind of fun because there are so many different options in Japan. Of course, you have your regular hotel. Then you have what is called a business hotel, which, what do you think a business hotel would be?
For business people,
Yeah.
it has, I don't know, suits and a computer.
When you
Is it
fly,
like
you know how there's economy
business
and
class?
business?
Oh, so
it's
it's
the other way around.
Oh, so it's
Business-
teeny tiny and has nothing in
So
it.
small. So small.
You're working. You're not going to enjoy your stay here.
So remember when I was talking about the last train?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of business people, like, it's a thing. You work 9 to 5. But because it's Japan and everybody works super hard and you are expected to work overtime. And then it's like, okay, everybody, we're gonna go out drinking now. And it's like informal business meeting kind of things, and you gotta go out and drink with your boss. So it's a long, hard day, partying, whatever. You miss the last train, go stay at a business hotel because that's cheaper than a regular hotel. So business hotels were created for businessmen to find cheap accommodations for the evening. The thing is, they're very small. Like literally, one of the rooms we have booked is the bed is on 3 walls, like touching 3 walls. The head, the foot, and one side. There's maybe like a foot to walk along the other side. But you still have like a nice bathroom all to yourself, and they're really clean too. And they give you, like you have TV, internet. Sometimes they'll give you like continental breakfast.
I don't even think they're that cheap either.
They're
For what you
cheaper.
pay. Cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, because hotels are usually going to be about $150 a night, regular hotels, and up. But business hotels usually run about $70 to $90 a night, which is still like kind of expensive, but it's better. So,
And really, what are you doing? You're sleeping in there, right?
exactly, you get
That's
like
what you should be doing. Because if you go to Japan and you stay in your hotel room the whole time,
you're not traveling
there.
properly. Another type of hotel in Japan is called a ryokan, which is a Japanese-style traditional inn. So those are the ones where they have the tatami grass mats on the floor, and you're sleeping on futons on the ground. And there's probably an onsen, a hot spring there that you can do. One thing to note though, when you're staying at a ryokan, they don't charge per room, they charge per person. Business hotels and regular hotels, you're gonna be okay. Like if the prices, you still have to say there's 2 of you, but you don't get charged more. But the ryokan, you pay per person. And that's mostly because I think they serve you meals as well. So you're paying for dinner and breakfast. Ryokan also, like hotels, run the spectrum of price. Like you can get, I think we stayed at a ryokan our first trip, and it was like, I don't know, around $100 a night, right?
I can't remember.
But there's ones that are like $700, $800 a night. It's crazy. There's another option called minshuku, which is a homestay. That's basically somebody renting you a bed or a room in their home. So they're there with you, like you're staying with them. You're like a boarder. They'll feed you meals, you'll hang out with them and do activities with them. It's really good for people who are wanting to immerse themselves in Japanese culture and really want to see what life is like. It's good for people who are studying Japanese. Another thing you can do is staying at a temple. That's called shukubo, where you can stay overnight and basically live like one of the monks. Like you go to morning prayers at like 4 o'clock in the morning and you eat their Buddhist cuisine, which is strictly vegetarian. And like we are actually doing that one night. I'm looking forward to that one. Something unique to Japan, I believe, are love hotels. And we're gonna keep that clean. Yes. I love this because she's like, what? I've never heard of this. So, okay, in Japan, not so much now, but definitely like 20 years ago, homes were very crowded and multi-generational. So you're living with your kids and your parents.
I see where this is going.
She sees. We're not going to say it because, you know, earmuffs. But, you know, you need some privacy. So you would go to a love hotel. And you can either book a love hotel for the night, or you can stay for a rest, which is by the hour. There's a lot
of these love hotels in New York, let me tell you.
They're like so cool in Japan though, because it's like, why wouldn't you just go to a regular hotel? 1, they're cheaper, way cheaper. 2, they're themed. And crazy. Like, it's insane. Usually, they're very...
Do they come with costumes?
Some of them do,
Oh,
yes.
boy.
And toys.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh.
And
Wow.
TV programming.
Oh.
They have all your needs covered. Usually, the bathrooms are huge, too. we'll leave that up to your imagination as to why you might need a big bathroom, but soap is involved. So anyway, so I kind of want to stay at a Love Hotel just once, just to kind of experience it. It's cool though. Okay, when you go to a regular hotel, there's a big lobby, right? There's a counter and probably a concierge, and they're like, "Hi, I'd like to check in." When you go to a Love Hotel, you walk in and it's just a blank room, and there will be like a thing on the wall, almost like a vending machine, and it'll show a picture of every room and a light, like a red light or a green light, or like either the picture is illuminated or not illuminated if it's available. Sometimes they'll have just a automated machine you put your money into, but sometimes they'll have like a little window with a curtain, and all you see is someone's hands. So you slide them the money, and they slide you back. There's no face to face, and some of them
anonymous.
Some of them have like parking garages that like you drive into and go right up to your room, and nobody sees you. Like, the privacy is top notch. So, one thing to note that I've seen thousands of videos on love hotels in Japan. Only one channel. Shout out to Katie and Eric because they're amazing. Only they said, and it is true, you are locked in at night. Once you pay for your room and go in, close the door behind you, you are locked in until you check out.
Really?
Like if there's a fire, the door will unlock, but you're what we do.
There's no coming and going.
No. What we do when we go to a hotel, we usually drop off our stuff and then go out and grab something to eat and come back. You can't do that at a love hotel. Once you're in for the night, you are in for the night.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if you left the door ajar, someone would come up and be
Yes.
like, why is the door ajar?
Yeah, it sends off an alarm in their room. They tested it. So, I guess the reasoning behind this is because they are love hotels. They want to make sure that people aren't staying there and having
multiple
friends
guests
come and go. It's to discourage that type of entrepreneurial spirit.
There you go. Very well said.
Thank you. So we may do that one day. We're probably not going to get to that on this trip though. Although our very last night in Japan is still up in the air. We don't have that booked yet. Another interesting thing that is unique to Japan, and another thing for businessmen who have missed the last train, is the capsule hotel. Have you ever seen capsule hotels?
I can imagine what it's like.
They're so cool. They're like so futuristic looking. If you were interested at all in what capsule hotels are like, there are a plethora of videos on YouTube you can check out, and maybe we'll get to add one. You go in and you like check in and everything, and they'll usually have a lounge and like a shower room with individual shower stalls and everything, and then you go into this very quiet room that's all dark, and it's just rows and rows of like little doorways that are maybe like this big by this big, and 2 levels high, so there's a bottom one and a top one, and it's literally a 1 meter by I think like 2.5 meter.
Some are bigger, some are
3 feet by 7 feet long thing that you just crawl into, pass out, pull the curtain down, turn off the lights, and you're good for the night. They run around like 3,000 to 5,000. Prices have gone up in the past 10 years, like 5,000 to 7,000 a night.
No, more than that. That's 5,000. Oh yeah, that's right.
$50 to $70 a night.
There is like a TV, a small little air, supposed to be air.
The newer ones actually have like big TVs.
So do you can you book one as a couple, or are you going to be separated?
They're single. Oh. Yeah, and actually most of them are not co-ed. They'll have like 5 floors for men and 1 floor for women.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but they're really cool. Your other options, if you don't want to spend money, or you want to spend as little money as possible. One step up from sleeping on the street. Say you just arrived in Tokyo and you have no plans and you can't find a hotel. You can go to all-night karaoke. You know about that.
Oh, yes.
So,
bomb.
Usually karaoke
you should do
here
it anyways. Awesome.
Is like you go to a bar and you sing in front of everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Karaoke there is you have your own room. Only you and your friends are listening to you sing. But there's a nice padded, like a booth type seat. Bring a pillow and a blanket, crash there, because you can rent it out for cheap for the entire night.
That's what we did in New York.
Basically, yeah, that was super fun. Another option is manga cafe. So they actually have cafes with little designated rooms and like these recliner chairs. You can't lie down. Some of them you can actually fully recline, but you can get a really comfortable chair in a dark room where you can sleep for the whole night. And the good thing about karaoke and manga cafes is usually they have all you can drink non-alcoholic beverages that you can just help yourself. Hotels, you can go online, sites like Expedia, Booking, Hotels.com, Trivago, whatever. Pick a spot you like and then check it out on all the sites, get the best one. There's also a site specific to Japan called Japan I Can, just Japan, the word I can, all one word. I find that their rates are not as good, but if you're looking for like a more remote place, they might have it, whereas all the other sites don't. And then there's a place called JapaneseGuesthouses.com. Those are for the places that are family-run type of things where they don't speak English, and you'd have to call to make a booking. And unless you speak Japanese, they'll do it on your behalf, basically. So we have booked 2 places through Japanese guest houses. And one of those is we're going up into the mountains to where those farmhouses with the really steep roofs are. And we're staying overnight in one of those. I'm really excited. And then the temple stay that I talked about, we booked through Japanese guest houses. It was super easy.